It doesn't look like it's on the ground right now yet, but it's not far from it. You've already had one brief weak tornado. Give us an update on that.
Okay, David, this has formed really, really fast. I mean, in 5 minutes, it started developing moderate rotation. Now you see what it is now, and that was about 10 minutes ago. That whole thing, David, right there is rotating, and it continues to get lower and lower and lower. I haven't seen it touch down just right in this spot yet, but I don't know if you could see it rotating, but we could see it from here, and it is spinning. Spinning pretty strong. Matter of fact, it's picking up.
No doubt about it. Yeah, it's turning.
Man, the closer we get to it, the more it's rotating.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right, stay with it. I know you're going to get closer. Let's go to Hank. Let's go to Hank Brown shot, and you can see the spin in Hank shot as well, control room. And Hank, it's turning. Looks like a merry-go-round. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, we are just east of Manitou, and just like Val said, this was just kind of a large scud bomb. It wasn't really doing anything. It was kind of drifting with the storm, and then it attached to the parent circulation, and this thing just started marching around like a carousel. Actually, David, right now it looks like it's starting to get more developed with a lowering in the bottom of that. Can you see that? I just zoomed in on that shot. There's a bell-shaped lowering coming out of the bottom of that huge wall cloud, David.
Hey, Hank, tell you what, let's just do it. Tornado warning now. This is going to be for southwest Oklahoma near Indiahoma. Tornado warning for you folks down here. Look at the left side of the wall cloud here. Look at the lifting motion. It's getting tighter. It's getting lower. I'm looking at Val's shot. It's getting, wow, he's getting a nice feeder cloud coming in too. This whole thing is really, really spinning. So, Hank, you don't see anything on the ground though, right? I know you're looking hard.
Yeah, but David, it's really, because this thing is just dragging its knuckles on the ground. So, I mean, it's close.
Dragging its knuckles on the ground. There you go. That's what it's doing. The base of this is not very high up. Okay, we'll come back to Val and Hank here in just a second. Tornado warning now is officially in effect for this storm. All right. Let's go back to the weather computer, and we'll come back to Hank, and we'll come back to Val here in just a second. Now, look at the squall line developing. This is along the cold front. These storms are, again, out ahead of the cold front, out ahead of the dry line. And now they're getting their act together. They've been rocking and rolling here for the last several hours. The whole line of thunderstorms in the north, it's severe. Medford, west of Pond Creek, Marty Logan's in Enid. Enid, you're going to get hammered. Get ready. Back to Okeen, Watonga. Now, this line right now, there's nothing really rotating in this line. Right now, I'm just being honest with you. This is mainly a wind and hail threat, okay? Now, this storm earlier, that was rotating. It's now lifted north. It's now merged with the northern line. So the rotation on this has gone away for now. This storm is rotating, but it's mid-level because it's behind the cold front. All right, but we're still watching it. That's going to be a golf ball hail producer for sure as it travels north of I-40. Okay, it's going to head up towards Clinton or just north of Clinton. Need to keep an eye on that storm because it's going to produce some big hail. And then we have our problems down south. And we have some big problems here. There's Val. There's Hank. Area of spin is right here. By the way, there's another storm coming out of the southwest. We need to watch carefully. Okay, so once again, let's turn the warnings on. Cassie, go ahead. There we go. And there is the tornado warning. All right, get your bearings straight here. This is Lawton. This is going to be for southwest Comanche County. All right, also northeastern Tillman County. Area of circulation. Cassie, let's zoom in on that. And look how tight that is. It's not a very big area of circulation, but see how it went from the green to the brighter green? That means rotation is strengthening on shear rate. Your product you only see on News 9. And we were the first to have it in the market, and we still have it. And this is a great tool to use. Okay? Rotation right there. And there's Hank on the south side of it. There's Val. That area inside that green box is right there. You're looking at it right there in the left-hand part of your screen. Okay, so it continues to spin. Tornado warning, once again, for southwestern Comanche County. The circulation is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles south of Highway 62. And it's going to be about 1 mile east of Farm Road 2330, all right, which is right here. Okay, Cassie, let's back out, get our bearings straight, roll out of this just a bit. If you have any interest in Cache or Mount Scott or west of Lawton, watch this and look at the storm back to the west. And again, that continues to rotate as well. Okay, so let's go back out in the field. Now let's go back to Hank and get an update from Hank Brown. He's right there. Hank, there's the wall cloud. What do you think? About the same? Strengthened? Is it weakened some? Give us an update on what you think it's done in the last 10 minutes down there in southwestern Comanche County.
David, I think it's weakened some. There's still a threat. There's still rotation there, but it's not near as organized as it was just a few minutes ago. But as you know from years of storm chasing, just because the appearance of the wall cloud changes and doesn't appear to be as photogenic doesn't mean that it couldn't produce a funnel anytime. We can see some little scud tags hanging down in the middle of that, and that whole area right there is still turning. So it's turning slow. We don't see any real fast rotation, but it's constantly changing. And the storm is a living, breathing creature. It's constantly changing, and you can see now it's starting to pull in more of a inflow scud tag from the condensation core. See that on the right side there? See it leaning down, which tells me that updraft's getting stronger. That rotation is starting to get more and more organized right now, David.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Hank, it looks like it might be cycling just a bit. Your ragged wall cloud on the backside was the old wall cloud. Now we have the new one. You're starting to see the tail cloud. Yeah, that looks like that's lifting. Oh, it sure is. That is lifting. It's what he was pointing out there. Right here. See that right there? That little it looks like a funnel. It's not. It's a little accessory cloud. It's a tag. But that is being pulled up into the updraft where the new area of spin will be. A little closer shot, okay, of that. All right, so he's right there looking for any debris on the ground. Tornado warning continues. Radar's indicating some debris has been lofted in the air. Radar is indicating that we might have had some light debris possibly in the air. Let's go to Val Castor. Let's take another shot. Hank, stay with it. Keep moving northeast. This is from Val and Amy. And Val, you kind of have a little different perspective. You're on the north side of it. And I know you're kind of going through some roads there and kind of some rough areas trying to get in and out. Tell us what you see when you look out your window right there, Val.
All right, so, David, a little bit earlier, you know, it was rotating. You saw our shot. It was rotating pretty strong, and it was well-formed. Well, all of a sudden, that turned very disorganized. It weakened. But now what's happening, David, is it looks like to me north of us, probably about 2 miles straight north, it looks like to me it's trying to reorganize. I see another one of those same features forming, trying to form a lowering back again, straight north of us, about 2 miles.
Hey, all right, Val, and we lost him. Bad cell connection. Okay, let me show you what's going on. Let's go to Links 3 and computer, and look at the hook, folks. Look at that. You don't think that's not legit? That is impressive. That's impressive for May. That's impressive for October. That is a hook of all hooks right there. Big hail to the north, west of Cache, west of Mears. Big hail core northwest of Indiahoma. Tornado warning continues for where Val is. There's Hank. Strong rotation here. Moving off to the northeast, again, at about 30, 35 miles per hour. Okay, let's go to Cassie. Let's stay with the computer. Let's go to Storm Shield, and I want to point out, look at our shear rate product on News 9. Look how the red's popped up, right? Now you know what we're talking about here. We go from the green to the bright green. That's what we were doing. Now we're going to the red. That's the rotation. That's where the tornado is going to develop. Hank's right there. Val's right there. And if they say it's not on the ground, then that's what you go to Vegas with. It's not on the ground. But I tell you what, they're looking right at it. We've already had that one tornado. If we can, control room, let's show you that video from about half an hour ago. Then we'll come back to this. Let me show you what the first tornado of the day looked like. Kind of set the story for you here. And no, that's from Marty Logan. That was from earlier. That was from Marty Logan. That was a gustnado. Check that out. Looks like a tornado. It's a gustnado. It's a distant cousin. And this forms from the ground up. Thank you. There we go. That was from Manitou. Now that was a tornado from earlier near Manitou that Val and Hank, we had it live on the air as that was happening. It didn't last very long. It was on the ground for about a minute or so, but that was just prior to with where we are right now with what's going on. You can see the rotation there on the ground. It was on the ground for about a minute to a minute and a half. Okay, that was at 5:23. How about that? Okay, let's come back to the weather computer. And there it is, strong area of rotation just west of Val, just north of Hank. And let me see what these guys are looking at. Hank's getting back in position. So is Val. Okay, Cassie, let's back out on radar. Let's go to reflectivity. Let's start out in southwest Oklahoma, then we're going to switch radars. Okay, look at the hook on this. This storm is severe, but it's weakened slightly. But I tell you what, it still has a hook I'm concerned about. And also we have two. We have a hook here and a hook here. Frederick, you folks in Frederick, this isn't going to miss you by much. It's going to go just west of town. Two rotating storms. There's a hook. There's a hook. And this storm down here might try to begin to grow a hook as well. Okay, so we need to watch that. Okay, let's go back to Valcaster. There's Val. There's the hook. Look at the hook on that, folks. Look at that thing wrapping around, right? Look at that thing wrapping around. Let's go back to Val. Let's take Valcaster's shot. And there it is. There's the feeder cloud coming in from the right. Coming in from the right. And Valcaster, you're live. Give us an update on what that thing's doing as you get closer to it, coming in from the south and southeast. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, David, here's what's going on. This thing is cycling, and it weakened a little bit earlier, but now, man, it is strengthening again. And my shot right there, that's looking north-northwest. I'd say about 2.5 miles north-northwest of us. It's going to try and do that all over again, what it did a while ago. And, David, each time this thing cycles, it seems like it's getting stronger and stronger. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's cycled there, Val, which is, Val knows this, the viewers at home. That's a process. It'll ramp up. You think it's going to do something, all right? We look at it, we watch it, we chase it, we run and gun after it, and then it begins to weaken. And then the next area of spin, or the mesocyclone, will re-intensify, or a new one will form, and then we do the whole thing over again. And often, as we go through these cycles, that tornado threat possibly will increase as we might get a tornado out of this. We're going to go to Hank's shot here in just a second. There's the circulation. Easy to pick out. Big hook. Val's here looking back to the west. I'm looking at his shot. And there's Hank's shot. Control room, if we can, maybe we could put up their shots over there. There's Hank's shot. Hank, what do you think? Rotation looks to me like, Hank, it's tightening up and getting stronger. What do you think? Give me an update. Do we have Hank? Okay, he has bad cell coverage right now. He'll get back in, but that's his shot. Hang on, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's that? What's that? Have Hank tilt up just a second. Have Hank tilt up. I saw some condensate here lifting into that thing. Okay, Hank, can you hear me? Hank, what's this right here?
My shot.
What's
right
that?
there. I'm about 4 or 5 south of Indiahoma. There's a funnel coming down.
There
You
it
see
is.
it? Our
We
shot
got
right
it.
there?
There you go.
Yeah, this is going to be, I am 5 miles south of Indiahoma, and this is probably 2 miles north of me. So this is going to be just immediately south of Indiahoma. I'm looking due north, and this is the best the best funnel that we've seen with this wall cloud in probably the last 30 minutes. It's really starting to crank, David. You can see the rotation in the whole column there. It's going to be on the ground here just imminently. We are getting ready to have a tornado just south of Indiahoma. David, back to you.
Okay, all right, great job there, Hank. Stay with it. Okay, let's go to Valcaster. Let's take Val shot. We almost have a tornado on the ground. Let's go to Valcaster. There it is. There's the funnel. Val, is it on the ground? Hank's looking at the same thing. Give us an update. Go.
All right, David, I don't see any debris on the ground just yet, but this thing is halfway to the ground, David, halfway to the ground, and it looks like to me it's trying to get closer and further down all the time. This thing is about probably 1.5 miles or so west-southwest of us, pretty much moving in our direction. I do not see a dust whirl on the ground yet, David, but anytime a tornado, a funnel is halfway down, you got to start suspecting it's doing something. But until you see that debris swirl, there's no telling. But this thing is persistent. It's getting closer, and it's just watching it here. It's not quite as pointed and as laminar as it was before, but it is getting a little wider.
No doubt about it. It's trying to tighten up. Hank's shot has locked up on us. We can get Hank's shot back up. And look at it here. Val, your video is a little bit out of focus. If you can maybe focus your video in just a little bit better. Or maybe it's just me. Is it just me? Okay, it's starting to lose it. It's starting to lose it. There it is. You can see the funnel. It doesn't look like it's on the ground. If it were, Val would tell us. But it looks like it's beginning to spin down. It's now spinning down. It was spinning up. It was getting tighter. And now it's spinning down. Okay. So how about that? You saw that live right here on News 9. And we nearly had a tornado on the ground. We've already had one today. It was a weak one. What's that? All right, let's go back to Hank. Hank, there you go. Tell us, is it on the ground? Give us an update. Go ahead.
Southeast of Indiahoma, it's moving to the east pretty fast. The funnel itself is dissipating. It doesn't look near as pretty as it did, but you can see in our shot right there, the dust is right there on the ground where it's whirling around. It picked up, it skipped about probably 1/2 mile. It set down on this road right in front of us, and then it skipped, and now you can still see it skipping through this field. It's probably about 3/4 to maybe a mile. Just to my northeast, David, and I'm about 4 south of Indiahoma.
Okay, all right, there we go. So, like you heard it, right from Hank. It's on the ground. It's not a very big tornado, but it's on the ground right now. Again, just to the south of Indiahoma here. Okay, we're watching it. I see Hank shot. We need to get Hank shot if we can. It's frozen. And Val shot is not. We'll go to Val. There's the hook. There's Val. There's Hank. Hank's looking off to the north. Val's looking back to the west. Okay. Hank still reporting that he thinks that it's on the ground. Val is going to get in a better position here. Control room, if we can put Val's shot up and possibly leave it up in the lower left like we normally do, that would be amazing. And there we go. Okay, so there's Hank. There's Val. There's Cash. And you can see the hook. This is going to be the hail and the rain here. All the hail. All right, and there it is. There's the hook, and that's going to be Val's shot. So that right there, folks, that's what you're looking at. That's the hook. That thing is wrapping around from left to right, and that left to right is right here. So basically, Val is looking back to the west northwest at that shot. Go ahead, Justin.
That funnel was with the old circulation. What Val's showing is the new.
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you, Justin. But Hank's shot is still locked up, so we'll get that figured out. Just lost Val's shot. Okay, we can lose the. There we go. All right, so tornado warning continues. It's going to be for western Comanche County, Indiahoma. It's going to go on top of Cache. You folks in Cache or west of Cache, between Cache and Indiahoma, down 62. Need to go to your safe spot. Okay, whatever that is, lowest level. You got to get there. If you live in a mobile home or a trailer, modular home, you have to get out. You have to get out. You cannot ride this thing out if it turns into a larger tornado. Right now, though, it's been a fairly weak tornado, but it can change just like that. Okay, there's the hook. There's the tennis ball to golf ball size hail to the north, and we have other big storms now near Manitou in southwest Oklahoma. Lawton, you're going to get storms. It's just going to be a little while longer. All right, they're coming. But the line goes all the way back down into Texas. Okay, so the tornado warning does continue. Does continue for northwestern Comanche County. And folks, this thing's going to ride to the northeast. It's going to head up towards Apache and Elgin, Surreal, Cement. Okay? All right, let's do the big view. Let's back out just a bit, Cassie, and show everybody else what's going on. Don't forget about everybody in the west and the northwest. Western Oklahoma, you're pretty much out of it. Look at all the severe storms lined up. From northern into western and southwestern Oklahoma, we have that one tornado warning in effect. We'll go back to that here in just a minute. And Val and Hank shots are down. We'll get those brought back up here shortly. They're in a bad sail area. They'll get back in here. And, okay, Cassie, let's jump up north here. Medford, get ready for some severe weather. It's going to come in from the west. Enid, get ready for severe weather. Back to Lahoma. These storms continue to increase, and they're going to increase and fill in, and they're going to march east into Enid. Eventually, Hennessy, Dover, everybody along and east of this line, folks, you're going to have storms. Some of them are going to be severe. Some of them, not all of them, some of them will produce some damaging winds and some nickel and dime and some quarter-size hail. The largest hail might be past us, and that was with the big storms in southwestern Oklahoma after they developed with tennis ball-size hail. That was earlier. All right, but we're for sure going to get some quarter-size hail out of the carrier storm. That storm's still severe. I know there's no official warning on it, but we're going to go ahead and issue our own for northwestern, western Garfield County for that storm there. All right, we think it's still severe. And Marty Logan's at Enid. I see Marty shot. He's going to get in position. Okay, and let's come back down the line and talk about Canadian County here in Oklahoma City. Nothing going on yet. We've had a couple of attempts of storms in here. There's one storm now, small storm west of Piedmont. Cassie, go ahead and zoom on in. And there it is. Darren Stevens is on that, not doing anything crazy. It's going to be west of Piedmont, north of Richland. Little cell there, no big deal. Okay, let's go to the southwest. Talk about the southwest storms, or the west storms, Cassie, first. Let's go to western Oklahoma. Thunderstorm just ripping through Clinton. It's severe. It's going to Weatherford. And a lot of heavy rain in here, 1 to 2 to locally 3 inches of rain. Quarter-size hail coming to Arapahoe. Quarter-size hail moving through Clinton right now. And, folks, that's going down I-40. So, Weatherford, get ready for more hail. You've already had some, and you're going to have more. And let's go south now and talk about southwestern Oklahoma, where we've had the one tornado today with that wall cloud's ramping back up. Okay, and let's go back into southwestern Oklahoma here. Big storms west of Fort Cobb, Carnegie, they're all severe. Down to Mount Scott, Cache, Indiahoma. And look at the hook. Goodness gracious, look at the hook on that. Let's zoom in here, Cass. And by the way, you're joining us right now. You're now at our 6 o'clock newscast, live on News 9. We want to welcome you. If you're tuning in to watch our newscast, obviously we have a few other things going on. A tornado warning. We've had a tornado on the ground off and on at least twice. We've had 2 tornado touchdowns today, and it does continue. And it does continue. Look at the hook. Look at the hook wrapping all the way back around. Let's go to Val Castor. Look at that. See where Val is? See where he is? He's right here. Okay, there's the hook. Let's take his shot. Now look what that turns into. Let's go to Val Castor control room. Let's take Val's shot full screen, and then we'll go to Hank. Let's take Val's shot. There it is. Check it out. Val, give us an update. Rotation looks like getting stronger. Go ahead.
That's exactly right, David. The rotation, this is the new wall cloud, and it is rotating strongly. Matter of fact, we're seeing Scud rapidly rising in the middle of that lowering. That's just northwest of us, and this is going to be about 4 miles east of Indiahoma and about 3 miles west of Cache. And also, David, just a second, there's some dust being raised to our east. We think it's RFD dust. We're going to check on it and see. But, boy, this is a significant wall cloud right here. It is rotating, and there is strong motion with it.
Okay. Yeah, Val, okay, stay with this. Obviously, you're not going to leave it. And this thing is spinning. This whole thing is spinning to the right. Val, Val, real quick, what are your winds right there? What are your winds doing? Yeah,
David, we have RFD winds from the west-southwest at about 45 miles an hour. So it's all wrapping around right to our north.
Yep. He's got a west wind. He's got a west wind, like if this is north, circulation is just to his north. He's got a west wind coming in around the western and southern sides of the mesocyclone. That is the beginning of tornado genesis, as we call it the rear flank downdraft, or the jet stream winds begin to spill off and around and wrap around that mesocyclone, okay? And once that starts, it sometimes will tighten it up when you get that wrapping, rotating wind from the jet stream, comes from the upper levels, down around, and that whole thing will make this whole thing spin faster and faster, and it's all part of tornado genesis. It starts to spin and everything tightens up, and that's what's going on right now. Okay, let's go back to Hank's shot. Tornado warning continues for Comanche County in southwest Oklahoma. Let's go to Hank. And Hank, you're kind of in a bad cell area there, and let me get your GPS location. Give me a second. I see Val. Hank,
right in Indiahoma.
Okay, you're back to the west.
Yeah, he's heading east now.
Okay, you're headed east now. Hank, what do you see when you look off to your east from your view, looking down Highway 62?
So you can see that big wall cloud right there. Actually, I'm still going north, just about a mile south of 62. The RFD just came through Indiahoma, and it was probably 40, 45 miles an hour from the northwest, which Val is a mile east of me, and he was getting it from the southwest, so that makes perfect sense that this thing is wrapping up and getting tighter. We're getting ready to turn east on 62, and you're going to get a picture of a very photogenic, big, ugly wall cloud, David. It's going to be just 3 miles to our east on Highway 62. So it's going to be getting close to the Cache area, David.
Yeah, absolutely, Hank. Great job. It is. It's now about ready to cross Highway 62. Folks, this is going to go right over Cache. If you live in Cache, you need to go to your safe spot right now. You need to go to your safe spot right now, because this will go over Cache. And that's, again, the strong area of circulation. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There's the hook. That's what the hook looks like when you're storm chasing, okay? There's the left side. All right, there's the right side. You see these rain curtains? These are rotating from left to right around this hook. Okay, just look at this like it's a big cylinder in the sky, okay? And like a pipe in the sky, and he's coming in from the west. This is turning from left to right.
65 south.
Okay, what'd he say? Justin, what'd you say?
Val just had a wind over 65 out of the south.
Oh, wow. Val Castor just had a wind gust out of the southeast of 65 miles per hour. This thing is going to try to do something again. It's already produced 2 tornadoes. All right, we've already had 2 tornadoes out of this. Okay, so that's what it looks like from the backside, on the backside of the mesocyclone. And look at the rain curtains rapidly rotating around this thing. All right, let's go to...
We've got a storm track if you want to...
All right, let's do that. Yeah, let's go to Links 3. And there it is. And, okay, Cass, let's go ahead and loop this. Make sure we're... loop it one more time. I tell you what. Take it a little bit like this. It's trying to occlude right now. There, okay, a little bit farther southeast, just to be safe. Ooh, okay, hang on. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, right there. That's about right. We got it. Okay, and I don't want to leave anybody out. Okay. All right. Here's Cache. Circulation now just west of you. If you live in Cache, you need to go to your safe spot right now. Indiahoma, 613. Medicine Park, 624. Mount Scott, 625. A lot of people camping out this weekend. Mount Scott, 625. You're going to get hammered first in Mount Scott with hail and wind. And Mears, you're going to get hammered. This is going to be tennis ball size hail. Tennis ball size hail now north of Indiahoma. Look at the hail core. Wow, that's big time, folks. That's big time hail right there. That's going to Mears. If you live in Mears, get ready for a devastating hailstorm if the tennis balls continue. And also the Holy City. All right? The Holy City, here we go. Coming in from the southwest. There's Cache, okay? Right here. This is Cache. And look at the hook on that. All right? Val's right here. We have this thing swarmed, okay? Then I want to point out other big storms in behind this. We're not through yet. These are all severe. But this is the one producing, well, the tornado warning, and also it's produced a couple of tornadoes. Look at the hook on that, folks. You know what that's all about, right? We've done this way too many times. That's the hook. And it's impressive. Now, northwest of Cache, look at the spin going on. Check it out. That's impressive. Okay, so there again, Lake Ellsworth, 642. Lake Ellsworth. A lot of people camping out at the lake. You're going to have to get off the lake. You're going to have to get out of that tent. You're going to have to get out of that camper. You've got to get back in the car. At least get out of the tent and get out of the camper. All right, winds anywhere coming in with this storm and on the wrap could be 60 to 70 to 80 miles an hour without getting a tornado. All right, we're talking about just the storm itself producing damaging winds. But then we have the tornado warning. All right. Okay, let's go to, oh, look at that. Let's go to Hank shot. Look at Hank shot, everybody. Look at the rotation. Hey, Hank. Let's go to Hank. Look at the motion. Look at the rotating rain curtains. The rain curtains in the background are moving from left to right. The rain curtains in the foreground are moving from right to left. Look at it at home with me here. Look at the motion.
Yeah.
Hank, go ahead. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, you're exactly right. You know what we're doing? We're dancing with the wrapping rain curtains. Patty's going to pull out just a little bit so you can see this whole area. I'm just a couple of miles west of Cache, heading east on 62. And I'm just ducking in and out of these wrapping rain curtains. Strong 40 to 50 mile an hour winds from the north on this side, and just on the other side of those rain curtains, you can see them zipping from the south back to the north. So it's a big, broad area of rotation, but you can really see it. It's hard to tell. There could be some damage being done in there right now. We see all kinds of little suspect areas. Look just north right there of the highway.
Hey, Hank, real quick. What's going on the left? Hang on, don't interrupt you. What's going on the left side of the highway right here? This to me looks like it's condensate filling right here. What is that? What is that just to the left of the highway?
There. See, look, that's really wrapping up really good right there.
Yeah,
you know, that could be doing some damage. Look at the motion there.
Yeah.
So if you're in Cache, don't get caught up with what we're doing. Take your tornado precautions. This is rotating rain curtains that are probably moving 50 miles an hour one way and 50 the other. So there's probably, give or take, 100 miles of hour of gate-to-gate shear there.
Yeah.
So there could be damage being done in this rain right now, David.
Absolutely. And again, there's a chance you don't get a tornado at all, but the circulation around the mesocyclone, you're going to get damaging winds. Like Hank said, look at right here. This is what I was pointing out when we went to Hank, right here. See how the condensation continues to tighten up and lift into that? See that right there? Yeah, Hank, he's all over it. He is all over it. Okay, and then you got to look on the ground. Everything here is rotating. You have rotating rain curtains right here, and they're localized. They start out broad. They get tighter as you get closer into the area of circulation. This is at Highway 62, just west of Cache, about 5 miles. Not on the ground, but the rotating rain curtains obviously are on the ground. And we have rotation, for sure, and it's getting stronger. It's getting stronger right now. Okay, let's go back to, good job, Cassie. Let's go back to links 3 if we can. Control room and velocity data. There's Hank. Okay, and you are out of Frederick.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's moving away from the radar. Winds in here. Indiahoma. Okay, this is to the north. Indiahoma, little cities down here. Winds, 60 plus. And then we have away right here. So it's a fairly broad area, but it's trying to tighten up where Hank is. Okay, it's a broad area of rotation, but at the same time, we have a tighter area right in here. Cassie, do me a favor. Turn on shear rate and or max rot. Let's see what that's doing for us. Let's go to shear rate or max rot. Okay, there's shear rate. There's where Hank is. Area of spin. All right, only on News 9. Only on News 9. Let's go to Max Rott. See what it's doing on that. Not as impressive. Not as impressive on that. But that doesn't mean anything. That it does and it doesn't. All right, a smaller tornado, sometimes this will not be quite that impressive. Okay, there's Hank's shot. Okay.
Max rotation on Viper does have a little bit more.
Okay, let's go back to that then.
Let's
Cassie.
go to Storm Shield.
Let's go to Storm Shield. And there we go. There it is. That's just to his east. That's what we were looking at. You were looking at that live on the air. And we still are. There's Val's shot. There's Hank's shot. Tornado warning continues for Comanche County. Okay. All right. We'll come back to Val and Hank here in just a second. Cassie, let's back out. Let's back out here. And look at all the storms. Now, this is a cold front. These storms have not been undercut by the cold front. When that cold front hits these storms, the threat of a tornado drops. And then it becomes mainly a wind and hail threat. But right now, see where they are? See where the cold front is? The cold front goes underneath the storms, and it cuts off the updraft. Where the air is flowing in from the south, you get a north wind, it cuts off the low-level updraft, right? Well, then it's over. I mean, basically, you're going to cut off the inflow to the updraft of that rotating storm. It'll still turn in the mid-levels, but the lower levels, circulation will often go away. That's why the storms to the north, we're not talking about tornado warnings along or behind the cold front, because they're being undercut by the cold front. That's why they are producing wind and hail. Clinton, you're getting hammered coming into Weatherford. Cassie, let's go ahead and zoom back in. Let's go jump back up north here. We'll come back to that tornado warning. Okay, Weatherford, get ready. You folks in Weatherford, let's go to our live. Let's go to Next Gen Live, the most powerful dual-pole, million-watt radar in the state of Oklahoma, and I promise you it will be for many, many, many years to come. This is a guerrilla radar, and the resolution on this, you can't beat it. All right? I don't care what they're selling you, you can't beat it. Here it is, coming into Weatherford. Look at the resolution, folks. Look at the detail. You go from the purple to the black between Clinton and Weatherford. It's going right down I-40. It's going into hydro. That's going to produce quarter-size hail and damaging winds, possibly, from Weatherford into hydro at 60 miles per hour, maybe as high as 70 with that line. Okay, let's go a little further north. By the way, nothing in Oklahoma City right now. Things are still going to plan. As we said, we're still okay in the metro, but we will get storms in Oklahoma City. All right, later this evening. All right, more on that coming up. Enid, thunderstorm over you. I think it's severe. Marty Logan's right there. He's east of it. Let's go to Marty Logan and get a quick update from Marty. He's in Garfield County, looking back to the west. Marty, your storm is pretty much now severe, going through in the western sides of Enid. What do you see when you look back to the west?
Okay, well, I am on the east side of Enid. That shot is to my south. We just had a huge ball of red dirt come over Wacomas, just south of Enid. My winds have now went back northwest. I thought we were going to have another gust tornado, but right now I could visually see the dirt flying to the east. So we've got strong winds pushing to the east. I'm going to get out ahead of it again, turn and look at it. Back to you, David.
All right, great job, Marty. Stay with that. And these storms, again, the tornado threat up here, it is much lower right now. But the threat in northern Oklahoma along that line is going to be wind and hail. Okay, wind and hail. But we still need to watch these storms. Anything can happen, all right? Strong jet stream, low-level jet stream is strong, mid-level jet stream is strong. And, again, we're changing seasons, and we're going to do it this evening and tonight as we go from a spring mode into that fall mode. Okay, let's come back to the weather computer and talk about, there's Marty, severe storm. I think it's severe over Enid. Winds 60 miles an hour, headed to Breckenridge. Another storm going up north of Tonkawa, not doing a whole lot south of Blackwell. No big deal with that, but it is increasing some. Might have some very small hail with that. Okay, let's go back into the western part of the state. Let's back out, give you the big view here. Line of thunderstorms. They're severe from time to time, running from Enid back down to Clinton, and then from where Bobby Payne is, and checking out Bobby's shot. Okay, and then from there down to Lawton. And we have the one tornado warning, and then from there the line goes all the way down into northwestern Texas. Western Oklahoma, Woodward, Buffalo, yep, Roll, Shattuck, Arnett, yep, you're out of it. It's over with. Party's over, north wind, cold fronts arrived, colder air, cooler air moving in. You are finished with the chance of rain and the chance of storms. We said you'd hardly had one at all because everything was going to develop east of you, and that's what's happened. Okay, so the line to the west still coming into Oklahoma City. Cassie, let's do a timeline. Do a storm track on the metro. Okay. Do you have that punched up?
I can get it ready.
Okay. And again, this whole line, see how we talked about this earlier. These are beginning to push into a big line, morph into a big line. This is going to morph into this. Watch this little area in here is going to fill in, and this will come into Oklahoma City. So let's draw that, and let's bring it in at, let's try 2025 and bring it into the metro. Okay. Let's go back to southwest Oklahoma while she gets that ready. Let's go back to Val Castor. Let's take Val's shot. Go ahead. And let's go back to Val. Val, the rotation's still there. Do you think it's weakened some? Give us an update.
Okay, David, right now we are west of Lawton a few miles, and I got to tell you, this thing is wrapped up. There is a big-time rotation going on in the middle of that rain right now, and it is passing over the wildlife refuge, and there's no roads in that area. And so what we're doing is we're going to go through Lawton, and we're going to try and get ahead of it. Oh, goodness. And try to kick back up with it and intercept it somewhere north of Lawton if we can.
Yeah, Val, you're going to have to get east. You know what you're doing. I don't have to tell you. You're going to have to get east. You're right. And then get back north. Do not go to the wildlife refuge. We've all done that, been there, made that mistake. It's a beautiful part of Oklahoma, but not when you're tracking a storm. All right? It's not. The roads are incredible. The views are great, but not when you're tracking a storm. Okay. And look at there. Okay, Val's all over it. Okay, let's go back to...
we have the track ready if
there you
you'd
go.
like to do.
Let's do it. Let's do a storm track.
3.
And then we're going to come back to reflectivity. Then we're going to come back to velocity data. Now, this is for Oklahoma City. All right, now we're going to get some showers in here. But here we are at 6:20. Ponca City at about 7 o'clock with the main line. Now, remember, things might develop out ahead of it. Okay. Kingfisher at about 7 o'clock. Kingfisher's right here. All right. That's about an hour away. Might be a little bit longer than that. Oklahoma City, starting on the west sides of the metro at about 8 o'clock. I think that will go between 8, I think, into 9 o'clock, and to possibly 10 o'clock. It's going to take a couple of hours before this to clear the Oklahoma City area. But after 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9, and possibly between 9 and 10. So that window in there, after 8, okay, it'll start to move into the western sides of Oklahoma City, it looks like right now, about 8 o'clock. We're still about an hour and a half away. Okay, so that's the main line, and this will be one solid line as it moves in. All right, let's go back to Hank's shot. He's in southwest Oklahoma. Good job, Justin. Let's go back to Hank. And boy, look at the cut. See that? See that cut right there? That's some dry air coming back in. We talked about that during the spring. See that? That's also part of tornado genesis going on. You guys with me on that? And you get these jet stream winds and some dry air that will cut into this. That's also the mesocyclone. And it's wrapped up. Hank, incredible shot there. The mountains in the foreground and pretty close to the mountains down there. You're in southwest Oklahoma near Lawton. Boy, the rotation on radar, Hank, is getting stronger. It's getting stronger, Hank. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, I agree. I'm just a couple of miles east of Cass, and we're on 62 here looking north. And I agree with you, what you're saying with radar. You can see that this wall cloud is really tightened up and really formed up. When we had that big wall of rotating rain curtains that me and Val were splitting, it looked like it occluded maybe the circulation, and then the next circulation kind of jumped to the northeast, like that rain actually cut off the inflow. Well, there's no rain curtains here now, and so you can see that this is just on the south side of the core, and this big, huge wall cloud's really low to the ground, and you can see it just slowly rotating. I don't see any fast rotation in the center of it like we normally is indicative that we're going to have a funnel or a tornado, but the thing is just spinning like a big carousel right now, David. Absolutely, and here's the deal. It's going to keep going, Hank. Right now, it's still well ahead of the cold front. And so this thing is going on dynamics and thermodynamics and the jet stream and all that going on is still going to keep this thing going for a while. The cold front is far away from this. All right? And look at that clear line in there, that clear slot. Anytime you see that, you need to pay attention because that's going to be wrapping around that thing, and then it wraps around to the north side, and that's where the mesocyclone is. Okay? And that is impressive. That's impressive for sure. The tornado warning does continue for northern and northwestern Comanche County. Lawton, you're out of this. Lawton, you will get storms, but you're not going to get this storm. It's going to go north of you. And like Hank said, it's going up through Lake Latonka. All right, let's go back to Storm Shield, and let's go back to the weather computer. And here's Lake Latonka. A lot of folks camping out. I want to tell you,
There's a mean hail core on top of Mount Scott, back to the west of Mount Scott. Big hail core in here, and that's going to be headed off to the northeast. Okay? And then here's the hook. There's Val. There's Hank. They're going to go east and make the turn and get a little farther north. But you can see the rotation's right here. It's right there. Cassie, go ahead and turn on Max Rott if we can. And a product you only see on News 9. There it is. There's the circulation. Coming into Lake Latonka. Lake Latonka is right here. That's the lake. And this is going right over the lake, coming into the lake right now. That's the rotation right over the lake. So if you're at the lake, you got to get in a safe spot. You got to get away because there's going to be some damaging winds. And this thing might try to produce another tornado. It might just do it. We've already had 2 tornadoes today. We brought those to you live on the air as they were happening right here live on News 9. And wow. Okay, folks, you want to see a supercell? We talked about the plates. Let me show you a stack of pancakes. Check this out. Go to Valcaster. Check it out. Look at this shot. Look at that shot. 1, 2, 3, 4 plates, right? Or 4 pancakes if you're at home watching it. Check it out. Look at the plates in that shot. That's a supercell. That's a rotating thunderstorm. And wow, that is an impressive shot right there. That's impressive for May, and that's real impressive for October. We are obviously in our second severe weather season. We do this. This is what we do, right? And some years it's fairly weak and wimpy. In other years, well, we get a day like today where you have a few more things to deal with. Okay, trackers are still getting back in position. Let's go back to Jim Gardner, and he's up north, and we'll take his shot coming up. And Jim, a lot of wind. You're out in Canadian County. You're in Kingfisher County, and we'll show radar of what you're looking at. Let's go to Jim Gardner and get an update on the wind. Lots of wind, Jim. The winds are going to be the main threat for most everybody. 60 to 70 mile an hour winds with this line. Go ahead, give us an update.
Well, that's right, David. Right now I'm sitting over the town of Kingfisher right now, shooting back to the north here. And you can just see the heavy wind you see drumming. That's way up north. But let's go back to the left here, Ben. And look at this wall of dust coming with this front here, David. I mean, we got dust just being kicked up everywhere. It's just a wall of dust with heavy winds. And that's the main threat, like you said, out of this is we got a pretty good wind packing in front of this. The storm behind it has got a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. So the main threat of this is just going to be heavy winds as it comes into Kingfisher here, David. Jim Gardner reporting live for Bob Mills, Scott News 9. Back to you. Okay.
All right. Great job there, Jim. And he's in Kingfisher County, looking at blowing dust coming right at him. Let's go to Weather Computer. And so many radars, so many sources to look at sometimes. Okay, there's Jim. There's his GPS, and he's looking back to the west. This storm is not quite severe, all right? It's weakened some, slightly, but it could easily ramp back up, and I think it will. These are pretty close to being severe. So winds in there 60 miles an hour as they come into Kingfisher County, into Blaine County, and they're going to keep moving northeast at the same time. They're going to make their way into all of Kingfisher County and then eventually Canadian County. Everything in Canadian County is light. I want to point out Darren Stevens is right there. Nothing crazy. All right, this is all light with a couple of downpours now west of Mustang, east of Union City. That'll go into Yukon. All right, but the storm in Weatherford, hail core now southeast of Thomas, heavy rain. And once this back edge moves by, party's over. That's it, all right? We got to get this thing to move by you. When it does, the severe weather threat, it'll go away. All right, it will go away. All right, Cassie, let's just kind of jump down the line here a little bit. Talk about Binger. Let's talk about our friends in Caddo County. Here's Hinton. There's Binger, Fort Cobb, Anadarko. Severe storms again coming into Caddo County. Going to be damaging winds. Fort Cobb Lake, Anadarko, Apache. All right, let's zoom in here a little bit closer, Cass. And talking about Fort Cobb, there's Carnegie. These storms are severe coming out of the southwest, coming out of Cooperton. There's your hail core. And that's going to be golf ball size hail now east of Cooperton in Highway 19. All right, there it is, moving to the northeast. So once again, we have 1 tornado warning in effect. We've had it now for well over an hour. And that's going to be down in Comanche County. And here's the deal, folks. This is going to make its way into southeastern Grady County and Caddo County. Southeastern Caddo County. And also southwestern Grady County. So Surreal, Cement, Ninnekah, Sterling, Rush Springs. If it makes a turn to the right, it'll be more of a southern track. But if you live along I-44 coming out of Lawton, you need to keep an eye on this. Tornado warning continues for that. All right? So we'll keep an eye on it here. I'll tell you what, control room, let's go back to Hank's shot. Hank's right here, looking to the north. Hank, we have your shot up now. You're looking to the north there as you get back east. What do you think? Rotation is still there, Hank, no doubt about it. This thing is still spinning, and it's about like what it was about 10 minutes ago. No real change as of right now, at least looking at radar data. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, the wall cloud has changed its shape. I'm going to pull off the road here, and Patty's going to get us a shot. So you can see we just keep moving east with it. We are on the very far west side of Lawton now, and we're looking straight north. So this is very close to the Air Force Base, or just maybe or the Army Base, I'm sorry, Fort Phil, and maybe just a little bit north of it. But you can see right there's still some rotation there. It's not as pronounced as it was, which, you know, this thing is recycled quite a few times. So it doesn't appear that it's in a weakening stage from radar, from you looking at dual pole. So it tells me that this thing is just recycling and getting its act back together. It's got plenty of good air to feed on. So, David, I think we're going to see this rotation increase and just keep ramping up.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Hank. And Patty Brown down there in Comanche County, just north of Lawton. And that storm now is going to be coming back into southeastern Coweta County. And you're thinking, is that a funnel? Well, we'll see. It's trying to tighten up right here. All right, it's right where it's supposed to be. And you can see some of the knuckles hanging down here from above. That's a wall cloud. Okay, that's a wall cloud. That's circulation. Radar says that's where it is. And we're looking right at it. But as of right now, it is not on the ground. It did produce a tornado a little bit earlier. Actually, we had a couple of tornadoes on the ground a little bit earlier. They were weak, but either way, we were tracking those live on the air. What do you have, Cass?
Yeah, we just actually did get a report from a viewer at Cash Road in 112th in Lawton. There's been many power poles that have been knocked down.
Okay, that's at in Cash proper?
Yeah, well, Cash Road in 112th.
Okay, all right. So basically back to where the circulation came through, damaging winds. This thing could spin all day, and we've already had a couple of tornadoes out of it, but it might not produce another tornado, but it will produce damaging winds. You can go to the bank on that, and because it's still a pretty deep, strong mesocyclone. All right, Cassie, let's put on max rotation here. Let's see what we have now. Look at the hail core now, north of Mount Scott. I certainly hope nobody is still staying in a tent north of Mount Scott or the Wildlife Refuge, because we have problems up here, folks. We have some big hail. Rotation has come down a notch in the last 10 minutes. It's weakened some. All right, so there's some good news there. It has weakened slightly in the last 10 minutes. Look at Hank's shot, control room. Let's go back to Hank's shot and look at the, we call this the mothership. We call this the UFO, right? Looks like a movie out of Hollywood. And there it is. That is a mesocyclone. There's the right side. There's the left side over here. And you can see this whole thing spinning from left to right, folks. That is a springtime or a fall, truly deep, deep mesocyclone that runs from the base to many, many thousands of feet up in the sky. And this whole thing is turning from here all the way up. That is a supercell. That is a rotating thunderstorm. And this whole thing is spinning from left to right. And where do you go for the rotation? To tighten up in the center. What do you have in the center of it, right? Most times it is. It's in the center. Doesn't mean you won't get a tornado pop out of the left or right side, but that's pretty impressive. There it is, but not on the ground. Not on the ground. Tornado warning does continue, though, for Comanche County. Rotations weakened just a bit in the last 10 minutes. We'll see if it continues to spin down. It's going to take a while to completely go away. That's not happening yet, but either way. Okay, let's go to velocity data. Let's go to Pathfinder, and let me show you what that looks like. And look at the rotation here, folks. Yeah. See the rotation? The green going towards the radar, the red going away. It's broad. That's the mesocyclone right here. Green going towards the radar. Green is towards you. Red is away. Put your finger in the middle where the circulation is. That's where it's tightest. Okay? Winds are stronger, though, on the back side because of how the radar is looking at it. But either way, rotation right there. Okay, and that was that shot you were looking at from Hank and from Val. Okay, let's go back to reflectivity. Let's come back north. And there you go. Wow, Cass, look at that. Okay, let's go to Storm Shield and control room. Thank you. There it is. There's the hook. Look at the hook, folks. This thing it's alive and well. It's breathing right here. Here's Val. I see Val shot coming in from the northwest. Control room, can we put Val's shot up in the box over there? And I'm going to kind of show you what I'm talking about here. See this little notch? That's what we call the inflow notch. That's where this thing is eating, living, and breathing. All right, inflow into it. And there's Hank's shot of the mesocyclone. And there's Val's shot. That's the inflow right there. That's what Val's shot looks like coming up I-44. And here's where he is. Tornado warning continues for northwestern Comanche County, okay? So you folks down there, north of Lawton, Lake Ellsworth, Apache, go to your tornado soft spot. Surreal, plan to go in the next half hour. Cement, plan to go in the next half hour to 45 minutes because it's coming your way. It's coming your way. Boy, the winds have increased on velocity. We got at least 60 towards now. Okay? All right, so there we go. That's the area of spin right here. Right here. Okay. Big time. Right there. Okay. Let's back out, Cassie, if we can. Make sure Hank's. Yeah, let's go back to our live. Let's come back to Oklahoma City. And checking out Hank and Val's shot. I see where Marty is. I see where Bobby Payne is. And this whole line is beginning to line out. And I want to point out, good news, these storms are just under severe level limits. But there's some low-level dynamics that are going to kick in. It's going to be called the low-level jet. And when that starts to happen here, the next hour or so, these storms could intensify and go to Vegas on it about every time that it certainly will. These will probably intensify as they come into Oklahoma City from the west. And you know what that means. They'll come through Canadian County, possibly giving us damaging winds and a little bit of hail. The hail sizes, though, are not that big a deal. We don't have any big hail up here. Now, that might be some nickel and dime. Might have some quarter-size hail. I take that back. There might be some quarter-size hail coming into western Blaine County. Cassie, let's zoom into that. This is our live radar, new radar, dual-pole, million-watt, the only live million-watt dual-pole radar in the state of Oklahoma. Folks, this is state-of-the-art. I mean, this thing is right out of the box. And it is incredible. Look at the resolution. Look how you can watch the storms evolve. They're breathing, right? This is being absorbed into the updraft, being absorbed into that storm. It's going to eat it. And it ate this little piece of energy here. Just north of Hydro, nickel and dime, maybe quarter-size hail there. And that's moving, again, off to the east. Okay, headed to Granfield. You folks in Granfield, you're going to have some hail. Okay? All right, let's back out just a bit. Let's check in with Bobby Payne. Let's see where he is. And Bobby's down here. Let's go to Bobby Payne. Let's take his shot and get an update from Bobby. And Bobby, I know you're trying to get back in position. Bobby, I think your storms do intensify as they come into Oklahoma City. It's going to take a little while longer here, but you've had some big storms. Tell us what you're doing right now. I know you're trying to make your way back into central Oklahoma. Give us an update on what you've seen here the last hour or so.
That's right, David. Right now, what I'm seeing is a very heavy, strong rain and hail core just to our south. That's going to be the storm with the tornado warning on it. What we're doing right now is we're trying to move east as quickly as possible to get in the Chickasha area and position ourselves as that storm continues to move up to the northeast towards the metro area. Earlier, we were tracking left-moving storms, and we had a quarter to at times ping-pong ball-sized hail. So right now we're going to continue to move to the east and intercept the storm to our south. Back to you, David.
Okay. All right. Great job there. Bobby Payne, stay with it. And I know you're going to go east and make the turn and start to head back. We need to get him back north, not into Chickasha. We need to get him north of Anadarko, back up to Kogar, and then have him go east down Highway 37, okay? Need to protect the West Metro. We need to get him back east and back northeast. Okay, you're good then. You're good. All right, then I'm just talking out loud over here. You got it. You got it. I just want to make sure we're good. But he'll come back in, and he'll be all over that. I want to point out new thunderstorms going up in Yukon. Let's come back to Oklahoma City here. And here you go. Let's come back to the metro. Let's zoom in here, Cassie. All right, there's Yukon. Any reports of any large hail? Robin King, over there, any reports of any large hail that you've seen?
No, not that I've seen.
Okay. All right, nothing crazy in the last little bit. Holler, jump in, throw something if you hear anything. Okay. Yukon, Canadian. This is Integris Canadian Valley Hospital. Okay. Right here, Yukon. Small storm there, no big deal. No hail, no wind really. A little bit of lightning and thunder. It's headed to the northeast. It'll come into the southern eastern sides of Piedmont. All right. So we're still waiting on the line to the west of us. Okay. We're still waiting on the line to the west of us to come into Oklahoma City. It's going to happen. Okay. Let's go back to Val's shot. Look at this shot here, folks. And here are the storms now west of Oklahoma City. Let's go to Val's shot and check it out. Val, that wall cloud is still there, my friend, and it has some teeth on it. Val, can you hear me?
Yeah, David, we went north out of Lawton. We went north on 62. We're at Richard Spur right now. There is a massive wall cloud to our west-northwest. It's hard to see it because right now we're behind the tree, but that right there is what the rotation is. Still probably, 4 or 5 miles to our west-northwest, but we're closing in pretty fast. But I tell you what, that's an even more ominous-looking wall cloud. It's a larger wall cloud than what it did when it did the tornado earlier out to the southwest. So anyway, this thing is still cruising, David.
Okay. All right, Val, great job, you and Amy. And you guys caught that first tornado of the day live on the air right here on News 9 when it was in southwestern Oklahoma down near Frederick. You were all over that. And you're continuing to track that one supercell rotating thunderstorm. And look at the wall cloud, folks. There's the right side, the left side. He is in northern Comanche County. This storm is coming into Caddo and Grady counties right now, and the tornado warning does continue. We'll see how much longer this thing is going to try to hang on. It's going to spin for the next several hours. The spinning will not go away. The question is it going to be spinning enough for us to keep that tornado warning going? And right now, it's still spinning, but it might have weakened slightly once again in the last 15 minutes or so, which is great news. But we still have a wind and hail threat. Damaging winds. I went through Cache. Power pole snapped in Cache. And Cassie, any damage reports? Any other?
I have not seen any updates.
Okay. Okay. Nothing new as far as the damage reports. All right. So that's what it looks like from bow shot. Let's go back to Storm Shield, and let's take a look at it here. Cassie, let's put on our hail swath product. Okay. Let's put on our hail swath and see what it looks like. Take a look at that, and wow, look at that. All right, back that thing up. Look at the hail swath. We had a cycle. We've had a couple cycles in here where these storms have cycled, right? They ramped up, produced big hail, they weakened some, they ramped back up. Look at the supercell track from the hail. That's the hail track, right? And this is going to be tennis and golf ball size hail in here. All right, Val is just to his west, and then other hail swaths to the north of us. All right, so we've had some big hail, nickel, dime, quarter, tennis ball size hail. Go ahead, Justin.
North near Garber and east of Enid.
Yeah, Marty's still up there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back north. Again, big hail, nickel and dime quarter, golf ball size hail. Tornado warning continues for Comanche County, and now it's coming into Caddo County. All right, we've been talking about it. It's coming into Caddo County. The storm is still alive and well. It's not weakened enough to lose that warning. Okay, Cass, let's go to reflectivity. Let's go to our live, and then we're going to go back north and check out northern Oklahoma on Next Gen. And let's zip up there. Take a look at what's going on up north. And Marty Logan is right in the thick of it. Look at the gust front on Marty's shot. Okay, so these storms, they're not quite severe, but it's not going to take much, okay? Marty's here on Highway 64. There's Covington. And Marty's in a good spot. Depends on who you are. Some folks might think it's a bad spot. And he's going to get wind in here increasing. But these are behind the cold front, which continues to push to the east and to the southeast. All right, but Marty Logan's right there. Let's take his shot. And not severe officially, but we're not that far from it. Marty, give us an update. You're looking off back to the west. And that storm, once again, not quite severe, but it is getting stronger. Give us an update on your wind right there where you are.
Well, right now my winds are just barely out of the south. I'm staying right out ahead of that cold front. And with the lightning just lit that thing up. So we've got a solid line moving straight to me. This shot is looking back west down Highway 412. You can see the base of that cloud as it lightnings. But right now, I'm just going to wait on it here for a little bit to see what we've got coming at us. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some small hail in there also. Back to you, David.
Okay. All right, Marty. We'll stay with it here. The main threat, again, will be wind and hail in northern Oklahoma up near Perry. Marty Logan up there right now, and he's northwest of Perry on Highway 64. He's in between Perry and Billings, and that's a gust front. So you folks in Red Rock, Marlin, yep, Perry, you're going to get rain. You're going to get storms as they come in from the west, okay? And, okay, let's go back to reflectivity here. And there it is. There's where Marty is. Hail core increasing now east of Covington. Not quite severe, but we're not far from it. Billings, Marlin, get ready. Cassie, let's go north into Grant County and Kay County. Check out, look at the wall cloud there, folks, on the left. We'll come back to that shot here in just a second. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, there's Blackwell. Strong storm, a lot of lightning. Haven't even mentioned the lightning. There's a tremendous amount of lightning and heavy, heavy rain west of Newkirk, Blackwell. You might have some localized flooding running west of Blackwell. Big storm there. Other strong storms now where Marty is, back to Garber. Between Marty and Garber, that's Marty's GPS. Back to Covington. Hail core now east of Covington, about 12, 15 miles. It's going to cross Highway 64, and it's going to Billings, it's going to Tonkawa, and it's going to Ponca City. This storm is down here. Heavy, heavy rain in there. Okay, let's come back south. Let's talk about Kingfisher County. All right, there's Tom. I see Tom's shot right there, and he's on Highway 33. And I tell you what, we got a little bit of a bow coming in here. We talked about this storm earlier, coming into Greenfield and Gary. Okay, coming into Gary, right? Well, not quite yet, but it's getting there. The hail core on that is still with us. It might have weakened slightly west of Greenfield down to Gary. Showers, a couple of heavy downpours over Piedmont. We don't have any lightning in that right now. I take that back. We just have, there's the first lightning strike now south of Piedmont. That's going to head up towards Deer Creek and West Edmond and West Oklahoma City. It's going to go west of Bethany. Nothing severe out of that. This will be the line that comes into the metro. Right now, folks, no warnings in effect west of Oklahoma City. These are not severe, but they're not far from it, and I think they increase some. They're sure going to try as they come into Canadian County, all right? So we're looking at 6:45, and we're still a good hour, I think, away before these come into Oklahoma City from the west. And this is becoming an interesting feature here, more of a bow echo. You folks in Greenfield, get ready. We'll go to velocity data. Hey, Cassie, I'll tell you what. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. I got it. What we're talking about here is Greenfield might have some winds coming in there, pretty gusty, okay? And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. And again, that storm not quite severe, but then we're going to jump back into the storm in southwest Oklahoma. Let's take a look at some of these velocities here. See this right here? Boom. Take a look at that, folks. What I'm talking about. Not crazy, but the winds are getting stronger. See that? 45 to 50, 49. We're still a couple thousand feet off the deck, but it wouldn't take much for that to start to ramp up. That's coming into Oklahoma County. That's a 40 to 50 mile an hour wind that's going to come into Oklahoma City. It's going to ramp up or it's going to weaken. It's going to do either one. It could hold its own. But right now, I think these are increasing. Okay? I think they're increasing. Let's go to northern Oklahoma here, talk about some of these winds up here. And once again, pretty strong storms going on up north. Some of the velocity data here we have. And, okay, this storm, there's Marty. Hey, Justin. Yeah, you're all over that. Great job, Justin. Great job. Here's what I'm talking about the winds up here. 63, 58. Hey, Justin, let's go ahead and get Marty. Let's get him west. I want him to drive into that.
Okay. You want to go west or just let him come to us?
Okay, stay there, but let him come at him. Okay, that's fine. All right, see the winds there, folks? 60, 65 miles an hour. That storm's severe. We're going to go ahead and issue our own severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Garfield County and Noble County. You folks in Billings, Red Rock, Marlin, back to Breckenridge and Garber, prepare for damaging winds. Let's go to Marty Logan and get an update on Marty and take his shot, take him on the Getner. Marty Logan, damaging winds now to your west, 60-plus miles per hour, crossing the county line just to your west. Give us an update.
Okay, I am going to wait on the line headed right at me. I am at I-35. I've now stopped and turned back to the west. So we'll see what kind of winds we've got in there. I still think we're going to have some hail because as I brought this over from Oriena even, there has been a lot of green in these clouds. So I'm sure we're going to get either very, very heavy rain, maybe small hail, and we know there's going to be some wind in there. We already had the gust tornadoes earlier, so we'll sit tight, see what we got. Back to you, David. Okay, all right, great job there, Marty. I know you're in northern Oklahoma, keeping everybody warned up there on these storms. Severe thunderstorm warning. We're issuing our own for eastern Garfield County. I can't say it enough. For eastern Garfield County, stay with it, Marty. It's going to be a damaging wind threat, okay? Let's go back to the weather computer. Damaging winds. Cassie, let's query this. Let's update this. Clear that. Give me a query right here. See that? Damaging winds. Billings. All right. Sears. 73. All right. And we're not that far away from the radar. At least 65. Severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Garfield
and also moving into Noble County. Our own severe thunderstorm warning for that. Okay, let's go back down to southwestern Oklahoma here, Cass. And let's go to Valcaster. Let's take Val shot. Look at the wall cloud on this. This is down south. That tornado warning continues. Let's go to Val and get an update. Val, your storm continues to rotate. Give us an update. Look at the, wow. It looks like it's tightening up.
It is, David. Just in the past 5 minutes, it's really, really ramped up. Just immediately northwest of us up here, the wall cloud has gotten substantially bigger, and I can visually see rotation. I know it's starting to get a little bit dark. But this thing, matter of fact, it's right out my window. I'm going to pull off the road, David. I know our angle's pretty bad here, our camera angle, because we're on the road. But right straight due west of me, maybe a mile or less, it's rotating. And the wall cloud, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I'll turn around here real quick. Oh, there's a pull-off up here. Let me run up here real quick. It's rotating, and the wall cloud is visibly getting
the right
bigger.
Side.
All the time, getting bigger. We're almost fixing to move to the north edge of the wall cloud now.
Hey, Val.
Yes.
Boy, the right side of that is really, really starting to lift and turn just above the ground, right there, right outside your between your windows right here, right outside your window now. We can't see it, but I mean, I just saw it. That looks like that's really lifting and turning, is it not?
It's lifting hard. Yes,
yeah, right here.
It is lifting hard.
Yeah, look at that, folks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
It is lifting hard, and the rotation, oh, goodness, the rotation is just,
okay.
I mean, right there.
Okay, all right, control room, I want you to keep this shot up, squeeze it over. Let's go back to, wow, look at that shot, folks. We're going to leave it up. Val, if it does anything, jump back in, okay? Do not, I know you won't. Don't hesitate. Okay, let's go back to reflectivity here, or velocity. And there it is. And there's where Val is, strong rotation now. And, Cass, what are you out of? Is that TLX or FDR?
That is TLX.
Okay, let's go to FDR. Let's just switch here. It's slightly closer. Let's go back to that. And okay, there's the hook. There we go. Here we go. Tightening up right here. Okay, that's it. Strong rotation, just north of Lake Ellsworth. And once again, I tell you what, officially the tornado warning's been dropped. We'll stay with you for a little while longer here. I'm not convinced that the party's over yet.
David, they did issue a flash flood warning for Comanche County.
Okay, flash flood warning for Comanche County. All right, but the rotation does continue. Cassie, put on shear rate out of FDR, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, yep. All right, now lapse this. Let me see what it's done. Let's take a look at its history. Okay, a little stronger. Yeah, it was stronger back here. And, okay, it's weakened some, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, but it's still strong. It's still pretty intense. Okay, now do max rot. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, oh, boy. Yeah, still there. Val, see where Val's GPS is? There's Hank. Look where Val is. He's right underneath it. I'm not convinced this is over with. Let's go to Hank's shot, folks. You want to see what the supercell once again looks like with the plates on it? Hank's looking to the north. Val's underneath it. Look at the plates there. Look at there. There's the wall cloud, plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, mesocyclone tightening up from just a few thousand feet above the ground, or really from the surface because of all the inflow. And it goes all the way up, big cylinder of air, and it's just spinning, right? And it spins faster and faster, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. If it tightens up too much, it stretches, and you get possibly a tornado. But when it's doing all this, even if you don't get a tornado, you'll get damaging winds. You'll get damaging winds. But that's Hank's shot right there. And Hank is on I-44. Hank's on I-44 looking at this thing. Okay, rotation does continue. It continues for sure. All right, let's go back to weather computer. And there's the rotation just south of Apache. You folks in Apache, do not put your guard down. I know the official tornado warning is not in effect, but that's all right because there is still strong rotation now just south of Apache. And it's close. It's real close to being tornado warned here. We'll do it ourselves if we have to. Val's looking at it. I'm looking at Val's shot. Val's looking at it. He's getting out of the trees here. Okay. Let's go back, get his shot back up. Let's go back to reflectivity. Let's stay with this. Cassie, let's come back out. Let's go to the big view. There it is. Let's stay with that. I'm sorry. Let's zoom back in. There's the hook. This is going to be hail over Apache along Highway 19. Hail from Apache over to Surreal, all right, south of Stecker. This is all going to be nickel and dime, even some quarter-size hail. There's the hook. This is Lake Ellsworth. That rotation's right here. Okay, there's Hank. And there's where Val is. Okay, now let's back out. Let's talk about southwestern Oklahoma again. Big storm down here south of Cache. Big storm, and we might get a tornado warning out of this. Okay, there's a spin going on west of Cache. Going to have another area of rotation there. And look at the hook on that, folks. Yeah, they're just lined up. They're just lined up. Hook there, hook there, hook there. 3 supercells in southwestern Oklahoma, and they're all rotating. 1, 2, 3 mesocyclones. They're all slanted to the northeast because of the jet stream flow. And the hooks down low on the surface are anchored to the southeast, pulling in all that warm, moist air. Warm, moist air being pulled into the lower levels, being lifted up, and then it gets evacuated downstream. How about that? 1, 2, 3. Big hail cores in here, right where they should be. Right there. Big hail cores, north sides of the updraft. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Cassie, do me a favor. Turn on shear rate. Turn on shear rate. Okay. Yeah, we have rotation down here. Rotation right here. All right. We have, there you go, folks. There's one area. There's one area. Let's go back into that storm. Okay. Let's come back up here. It's weakened some. Okay. That's definitely weakened some. All right. We'll see what it does. But our trackers are going to chase this till the cows come home. Okay. All right. Let's come back out, Cassie. Let's go to reflectivity. Let's go to next gen. Come back to the city. A little thunderstorm east of Hollis. No big deal. All right. Other severe storms, though, south of Altus, south of Hollis. These are severe, and these are coming back into Harmon and Tillman County. Okay. These are on the cold front. The threat's going to be wind and hail. Threat's going to be wind and hail. Okay, so this is what's going to come into Oklahoma City. Bobby Payne is going to be out ahead of it. And here comes Hank. And here comes Val. This is our live radar, next gen. A few showers and storms now up in Deer Creek, headed up to Guthrie. Nothing crazy out of these. A few more showers developing near Lindsay. But the wall is setting up to the west, and these storms are intensifying ever so slowly as they come in from the southwest. Okay? All right, Cassie, go ahead and get a storm track ready. And do it for the metro. Kind of do one, you know what I mean? Okay, we'll go back to northern Oklahoma. Let's go up north. Take Marty's shot. He's up in Noble County, looking back to his west. Marty Logan, gust front up there producing winds. That storm's severe. I don't care what you say. It's severe up there with winds of 60-plus miles per hour coming through western Noble County. You're looking at the gust front. I know it's dark out, so when you chase right now, you look for power flashes. That's what we go by at night, power flashes and wind direction. Marty, give us an update.
Okay, what I'm looking at right now, what you're looking at, is, and Justin said it's very difficult to see, that is a bow front that I can see to my south with a shelf cloud. This is almost on I-35. Truck traffic on I-35, high-profile vehicles. If you're getting any of this, you need to pull off side of the road. My winds have just changed to the northwest, west-northwest, so I am now starting to get the strong winds that we were predicting that was going to move over us, and they are increasing as I speak right now. So within 2 to 3 minutes, this will be over. I-35, high-profile vehicles, you need to get off the side of the road. The wind is increasing, starting to rock the truck a little bit. I'm going to say we're probably in the range of 30, maybe 40. It's getting stronger as I sit here, so I'm going to stay here with it. I can also see, you can probably see those lights right down there. That is truck traffic, car traffic on I-35. So hopefully I don't see white, red, and know that we've had a problem. I'm going to stay here with it. Back to you, David.
Okay. Hey, Marty, just listen here, Marty. There is along this line, there is an area of spin just to your north, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miles to your north. And it's on that leading edge. This is the other problem we have to worry about with these leading storms like this and this line of storms are getting areas of spin. Marty, so it's going to be 5 miles to your north. You're going to have to get back east and then get back north to catch it, okay? You're going to have to get back on Highway 64 and then get back east. You can't go north on I-35. You won't catch it. Okay, let's go to velocity data. Let's go to Storm Shield. And here's what I'm talking about. See that? Yeah, that, damn it. Cassie, query that. That's going to be 70. 76.1 miles per hour. Okay? It's called a mesovortice. This is a small, tight area that can produce a tornado. It would be a small tornado, but that can become a tornado. That can become a tornado. Let's back out just a bit. It's going to Marlin. Finally got a warning out of this. Okay, this is going to be a possible, for sure, a damaging wind threat, but also this might spawn a small tornado. It happens. It happens, and this is exactly what you have to be looking for. This is what we were talking about happening outside of the other stronger storms in southwestern Oklahoma that had those mesocyclones with them. Okay, let's zoom on in. Damaging winds. Marlin, you folks in Marlin, prepare for damaging winds. Sears, Red Rock, north of Red Rock to Marlin, and you have a fairly tight now area of circulation. If it doesn't produce a tornado, you're going to get winds of 70 miles an hour. You're going to get the winds. Now, it's not a broad area because it's a tight area of spin. So the whole gust front still producing winds 40 to 50, okay, and to 60, but we have an area that's localized to nearly 80 miles per hour. See that bright pink? Cassie, query that one more time. Zoom in, okay. 76.1. There we go. Look how tight that area is. Now, Cassie, query to the north and south of it. Show you what I'm talking about at home. Pretty cool. 35. Yeah, no big deal. Down to 50, 38. Yeah, it's right here. Damaging winds, 60 to 70 to 80 miles per hour. It's about a 10-mile wide area because that's a mesovortice. It's a small mesocyclone that develops on the leading edge of gust fronts. Check that out. That's showing up very clearly. If you live in Sears, you're going to have damaging winds from Sears back to I-35. Okay? All right, and it's moving northeast. Let's back out one more time, Cassie. Let's go to reflectivity on the big view. On the big view. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning for Noble County. Let's back out just a bit. Severe storms again for Noble County. Marty Logan is all over it. And then storms now coming into the metro from the west over the next several hours. They'll come into Oklahoma City. It's going to be after 8 o'clock, like we've been saying, after 8 o'clock before they get here. And we're also tracking those severe storms in southwestern Oklahoma. We're going to take a break. We're going to regroup. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. 7 News 9. We'll keep you advised. Rotation is strengthening on shear rate, your product you only see on News 9. And we were the first to have it in the market, and we still have it. And this is a great tool to use, okay? Rotation right there. And there's Hank on the south side of it. There's Val. That area inside that green box is right there. You're looking at it right there in the left-hand part of your screen. Okay, so it continues to spin. Tornado warning, once again, for southwestern Comanche County. The circulation is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles south of Highway 62. And it's going to be about 1 mile east of Farm Road 2330, all right, which is right here. Okay, Cassie, let's back out, get our bearings straight, roll out of this just a bit. If you have any interest in Cache or Mount Scott or west of Lawton, watch this and look at the storm back to the west. And again, that continues to rotate as well. Okay, so let's go back out in the field. Now let's go back to Hank and get an update from Hank Brown. He's right there. Hank, there's the wall cloud. What do you think? About the same? Strengthened? Is it weakened some? Give us an update on what you think it's done in the last 10 minutes down there in southwestern Comanche County.
David, I think it's weakened some. There's still a threat. There's still rotation there, but it's not near as organized as it was just a few minutes ago. But as you know from years of storm chasing, just because the appearance of the wall cloud changes and doesn't appear to be as photogenic doesn't mean that it couldn't produce a funnel anytime. We can see some little scud tags hanging down in the middle of that, and that whole area right there is still turning. So it's turning slow. We don't see any real fast rotation, but it's constantly changing. And the storm is a living, breathing creature. It's close.
Dragging its knuckles on the ground. There you go. That's what it's doing. The base of this is not very high up. Okay, we'll come back to Val and Hank here in just a second. Tornado warning now is officially in effect for this storm. All right. Let's go back to the weather computer, and we'll come back to Hank, and we'll come back to Val here in just a second. Now look at the squall line developing. This is along the cold front. These storms are, again, out ahead of the cold front, out ahead of the dry line. and now they're getting their act together. They've been rocking and rolling here for the last several hours. The whole line of thunderstorms in the north, it's severe. Medford, west of Pond Creek, Marty Logan's in Enid. Enid, you're going to get hammered. Get ready. Back to O'Keene, Watonga. Now, this line right now, there's nothing really rotating in this line. Right now, I'm just being honest with you. This is mainly a wind and hail threat, okay? Now, this storm earlier, that was rotating. It's now lifted north. It's now merged with the northern line. So the rotation on this has gone away for now. This storm is rotating, but it's mid-level because it's behind the cold front. All right, but we're still watching it. That's going to be a golf ball hail producer for sure as it travels north of I-40. Okay, it's going to head up towards Clinton or just north of Clinton. Need to keep an eye on that storm because it's going to produce some big hail. And then we have our problems down south. And we have some big problems here. There's Val. There's Hank. Area of spin is right here. By the way, there's another storm coming out of the southwest. We need to watch carefully. Okay, so once again, let's turn the warnings on. Cassie, go ahead. There we go. And there is the tornado warning. All right, get your bearings straight here. This is Lawton. This is going to be for southwest Comanche County. All right, also northeastern Tillman County. Area of circulation. Cassie, let's zoom in on that. And look how tight that is. It's not a very big area of circulation, but see how it went from the green to the brighter green? That means it doesn't look like it's on the ground right now yet, but it's not far from it. You've already had one brief weak tornado. Give us an update on that.
Okay, David, this has formed really, really fast. I mean, in 5 minutes, it started developing moderate rotation. Now you see what it is now, and that was about 10 minutes ago. That whole thing, David, right there is rotating, and it continues to get lower and lower and lower. I haven't seen it touch down just right in this spot yet, but I don't know if you could see it rotating, but we could see it from here, and it is spinning. Spinning pretty strong. Matter of fact, it's picking up.
No doubt about it. Yeah, it's turning.
Man, the closer we get to it, the more it's rotating.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right, stay with it. I know you're going to get closer. Let's go to Hank. Let's go to Hank Brown shot, and you can see the spin in Hank shot as well, control room. And Hank, it's turning. Looks like a merry-go-round. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, we are just east of Manitou, and just like Val said, this was just kind of a large scud bomb. It wasn't really doing anything. It was kind of drifting with the storm, and then it attached to the parent circulation, and this thing just started marching around like a carousel. Actually, David, right now it looks like it's starting to get more developed with a lowering in the bottom of that. Can you see that? I just zoomed in on that shot. There's a bell-shaped lowering coming out of the bottom of that huge wall cloud, David.
Hey, Hank, tell you what, let's just do it. Tornado warning now. This is going to be for southwest Oklahoma near Indiahoma. Tornado warning for you folks down here. Look at the left side of the wall cloud here. Look at the lifting motion. It's getting tighter. It's getting lower. I'm looking at Val's shot. It's getting, wow, he's getting a nice feeder cloud coming in too. This whole thing is really, really spinning. So, Hank, you don't see anything on the ground though, right? I know you're looking hard.
But David, it's really, because this thing is just dragging its knuckles on the ground. So, I mean, it's constantly changing. And you can see now it's starting to pull in more of a scud tag from the condensation core. See that on the right side there? See it leaning down? Which tells me that updraft's getting stronger. That rotation is starting to get more and more organized right now, David.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Hank, it looks like it might be cycling just a bit. Your ragged wall cloud on the backside was the old wall cloud. Now we have the new one. You're starting to see the tail cloud. Yeah, that looks like that's lifting. Oh, it sure is. That is lifting. It's what he was pointing out there. Right here. See that right there? That little it looks like a funnel. It's not. It's a little accessory cloud. It's a tag. But that is being pulled up into the updraft where the new area of spin will be. A little closer shot, okay, of that. All right, so he's right there looking for any debris on the ground. Tornado warning continues. Radar's indicating some debris has been lofted in the air. Radar is indicating that we might have had some light debris possibly in the air. Let's go to Val Castor. Let's take another shot. Hank, stay with it. Keep moving northeast. This is from Val and Amy. And Val, you kind of have a little different perspective. You're on the north side of it. And I know you're kind of going through some roads there and kind of some rough areas trying to get in and out. Tell us what you see when you look out your window right there, Val.
All right, so, David, a little bit earlier, you know, it was rotating. You saw our shot. It was rotating pretty strong, and it was well-formed. Well, all of a sudden, that turned very disorganized. It weakened. But now what's happening, David, is it looks like to me north of us, probably about 2 miles straight north, it looks like to me it's trying to reorganize. I see another one of those same features forming, trying to form a lowering back again, straight north of us, about 2 miles.
Hey, all right, Val, and we lost him. Bad cell connection. Okay, let me show you what's going on. Let's go to Links 3 and computer, and look at the hook, folks. Look at that. You don't think that's not legit? That is impressive. That's impressive for May. That's impressive for October. That is a hook of all hooks right there. Big hail to the north, west of Cache, west of Mears. Big hail core northwest of Indiahoma. Tornado warning continues for where Val is. There's Hank. Strong rotation here. Moving off to the northeast, again at about 30, 35 miles per hour. Okay, let's go to Cassie. Let's stay with the computer. Let's go to Storm Shield, and I want to point out, look at our shear rate product on News 9. Look how the red's popped up, right? Now you know what we're talking about here. We go from the green to the bright green. That's what we were doing. Now we're going to the red. That's the rotation. That's where the tornado is going to develop. Hank's right there. Val's right there. And if they say it's not on the ground, then that's what you go to Vegas with. It's not on the ground. But I tell you what, they're looking right at it. We've already had that one tornado. If we can, control room, let's show you that video from about half an hour ago. Then we'll come back to this. Let me show you what the first tornado of the day looked like. Kind of set the story for you here. And no, that's from Marty Logan. That was from earlier. That was from Marty Logan. That was a gustnado. Check that out. Looks like a tornado. It's a gustnado. It's a distant cousin. And this forms from the ground up. Thank you. There we go. That was from Manitou. Now that was the tornado from earlier near Manitou that Val and Hank, we had it live on the air as that was happening. It didn't last very long. It was on the ground for about a minute or so, but that was just prior to with where we are right now with what's going on. You can see the rotation there on the ground. It was on the ground for about a minute to a minute and a half. Okay, that was at 5:23.